In the very beginning, nothing existed as we know it. No cities, no people, no noise, just the heavens, the earth, and God's perfect creation. After creating everything, the sky, the land, the animals, God decided to do something different, something special. He formed a man from the dust of the ground, carefully shaping him, and then he breathed life into him. In that moment, the man opened his eyes for the very first time. His name was Adam. Adam wasn't just another creation. He was unique. He could think, feel, speak, and walk with God. God placed Adam in a beautiful place called the Garden of Eden. It was perfect, full of life, beauty, peace. But there was one rule. You may eat from any tree, but not from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Just one rule in a perfect world. But Adam was alone. And God said something powerful. It is not good for man to be alone. So God made Adam fall into a deep sleep. And from his side, he created Eve. When Adam saw her, everything changed. He was no longer alone. Everything was perfect. Until one moment changed everything. One day, a serpent appeared in the garden. But this was no ordinary creature. It was clever, and it had a plan. It spoke to Eve. Did God really say you can't eat from any tree? Eve replied, we can eat from all trees, except one. If we do, we will die. Then the serpent said something shocking. You will not die. You will be like God. Eve looked at the fruit. It looked good, beautiful, desirable. And then she made a choice. She ate it. Then she gave it to Adam, and he ate it too. And in that exact moment, everything changed. Suddenly, they realized something was wrong. They noticed they were naked. For the first time, they felt shame. When they heard God approaching, they did something they had never done before. They hid. God called out, Adam, where are you? Adam replied, I was afraid, so I hid. God asked, did you eat from the tree I told you not to? Adam blamed Eve. Eve blamed the serpent. And just like that, everything was exposed. The perfect world was broken. After leaving the garden, life was no longer easy. The ground became hard to work. Survival became a struggle. Adam had to work with sweat and effort. Eve began to experience pain. But something new happened. They had children. The first family in history. They were learning everything from scratch. Even outside Eden, God was still watching over them. Life wasn't perfect anymore, but it continued. And that means something powerful. Mistakes have consequences, but they don't end the story. This story is not just about the past. It's about us. Adam and Eve represent humanity. Their choice reflects the choices we still make today. We all face moments where we know what's right, but still choose wrong. But here's the powerful truth. Even after the mistake, God did not abandon them. He cared for them, protected them, and had a plan. Because this wasn't the end. It was just the beginning. We all make mistakes. We all fall. But there is always hope. And now the question is, what would you have done? After Adam and Eve left the garden, life continued.
I can feel its peace.
But now everything was
Paradise
different.
we can only dream
They
of
had to
now.
build a life from nothing.
One day, we will
Soon
find
they
our
had
way
children.
back.
Their first sons were Cain and Abel. Cain became a farmer. Abel became a shepherd. They both worked hard. And one day, they brought offerings to God. Abel gave his best, the finest of his flock. Cain also brought an offering. But something was different. God accepted Abel's offering, but not Cain's. And that's when something dangerous began to grow. Jealousy. Cain became angry, very angry. God warned him, sin is crouching at your door, but you must control it. But Cain didn't listen. Instead, he invited his brother Abel into the field. And there, something terrible happened. Cain attacked Abel and killed him. The first sin in the garden had now spread into the world. When God asked Cain, "Where is your brother?" Cain replied, "I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper?" But God already knew. And once again, there were consequences. Even after everything, God did not give up on humanity. He punished Cain, but also protected him. Time passed, and Adam and Eve had another son. His name was Seth. Through him, a new beginning started. And from that line, the story of humanity continued. But here's the most powerful part. Even after sin entered the world, God already had a plan to restore everything, a plan to bring hope. Because no matter how broken things become, God never stops caring. God never stops guiding. And the story is never over.